Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time.
As usual, thank you to our feral venerator of Soirain Lurks. We love her so much. Thank you. What is it? Sugar Mommy? Sugar Mommy.
And?
Oh, what? Oh, there's more! Oh my god.
And also thank you to Travis for the help with the transcription and to Kevin for the promo video.
Throughout its 121-episode run, Glee was a show that, at its best, was a cultural touchstone that blew open the doors for queer representation and what it could be. The other 115 episodes were a mixed bag ranging from cringe to cursed. So much cursed. More cursed than listening to Twitter of Time talk about how dead the fandom is when we go a week without news. So, in celebration of 10,000 downloads, we told y'all that we would subject ourselves to one of the worst episodes of Glee. And today, we've picked one of those episodes called The End of Twerk from Season 5.
Yeah, we made choices with this.
We may have made a mistake.
In our Discord, James was asking us why we were inflicting that to ourselves. And I was like, James, you picked it.
I know.
You did this.
Look, that is on brand for me. I think without acting, or I act without thinking, and I make decisions without thinking all the time. And I regret them later. So this is just, one of the worst things I've ever done.
And you know what? That's the Sagittarius in you. So.
That's the Sagittarius in me?
The impulsivity.
Is there someone in you right now?
Oof.
There is not anyone in me right now.
That would be, anyway.
I was going to make that joke, but
Well,
Too late.
figured I wouldn't.
You are a bad influence on me.
there we go.
So, Glee.
Glee. Yeah, let's talk about Glee as a whole and kind of our experience with it, as we all kind of grew up with it.
We did.
Yeah, I was in college when it came out, and it was...
I was in high school.
baby.
Okay, you know what? I remember, because we were talking about that on Discord, because this episode is like a few episodes after the quarterback episode, which is like...
Yes.
The Corey Monteith tribute.
Yeah.
And that made me realize I remember exactly like where I was, what year it was,
Oh.
when was that?
Is this your 9/11, Camille?
Not really. It's just because, it was summer 2013, and I remember that because it was a time where I was doing a lot of competitive exam. And I just remember being on a boat with my family where everyone was on vacation, but I still had to study to do those exams. And then the news dropped. I was like, shit, no, I still have to get back to work.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember it was very sad.
Yeah, it was very
I
sad.
don't remember where I was because it's not 9/11.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some things stick in your mind. Like, I was on the way home from work, or I found out at work when I was clerking for a judge, which would have made it 2015 or the summer of 2016, either the spring or summer of 2016. And I was driving home from work, and that's when I heard and I was thinking about it. I was like stuck in rush hour traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's definitely 2013.
yeah, it's definitely 2013 because that's when he died.
you're right. Okay, I was mixing up my clerkship with an externship. I was on the way home to Minneapolis from St. Paul working for a judge, but it was for a law school program and not my actual job, so that's why I mixed it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Glee as a whole was a very defining show for me,
Mhm.
but it is very much something that one can never revisit.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was redefining. It was defining for a lot of us, but like, so was September 11th, and so was Pearl Harbor, and so was the Spanish flu, and so was COVID.
Yeah.
We never want to go back to those again.
We don't want to do it again. Yeah. It was the first time for me, really, that I saw someone roughly my age, like a fat black woman on TV. and not portrayed like in the worst. Well,
in an incredibly racist way, but not the worst way.
yes, not in an overtly terrible way, like in a positive way.
Yeah.
She was not portrayed as racistly as she was treated by Leah Michelle behind the set.
Yes, that is it. Exactly. And she was like, it was acknowledged that she was talented and like a good friend. She was at least the interpretation was meant to be. She was a positive example character.
That's a reflection that I got also when watching this episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bad things in this episode. There's also like a few good moments, whereas it actually gets very nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Unique song was very nice, even if the whole discussion about that, I think like that show just lacks of depths and it just brush over the surface all the time and that's it. But like for example, Unique, when I grew up, I don't remember any gender non-conforming character that I had seen on TV before Unique.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I wrote when I was watching the episode was like, as shitty as this show is, Unique as a character was good representation because it was gender nonconformity like at its finest.
Yes.
Even though they called her Oprah.
Oh,
Listen, we'll get to that. I was like, excuse the fuck me?
The casual racism is just so bad.
there were a couple of lines that I wrote down and I like went back and wrote down specifically because I'm like, we need to talk about this.
Oh my god.
There's moments, it has to be on purpose because like there's literally a moment where they are on the school board and the guy say motion approved to dig into the parking lot and move the Indian bones.
The Indian bones, yes.
I must have blacked out for that. Okay, I didn't hear that part.
No, that happened too.
I also noted that. I was like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna casually... And like, for me, there's a difference between like, okay, this is a way that we can show that this is a terrible and mean person, and like, just throwing things like that out willy-nilly because, and that's kind of what Glee did. Like for characters like Sue, it's just like, okay, we know that she's terrible. There's a way we can do this without being overtly racist.
Anybody catch the random pedophilia in the episode?
Yes. Delightful.
Wait, we might not be talking about the same thing.
Oh, so I was talking about the school board lady like ogling Cord Overstreet.
Yes, thirsting over the child.
It was Blake Jenner she was thirsting over.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I thought it was okay.
No, because Cord was dressed in that, he was the waltzer with the long ponytail hair.
Oh, that's right. He was waltzing with Jenna. That's right.
No, the school board lady was definitely openly lusting over a minor.
Openly. But at the same time, like, this was not a bad seminar about how twerking isn't actually that bad.
No, they made points.
No, it's a very historically accurate presentation.
It was good. That's what I think that's what gets me about Glee. It's that they had like these moments of like insightfulness that are like, oh, this is really good. And then something else comes like right after that and hits you with it's just, it's wild. Watching this show is a fever dream, truly.
Like, all of our episodes are fever dreams. This, I can't.
Yeah, no, I, like, Sue and Will both, like, occasionally will say something good, like, not to be a prude, but I agree with Sue. Like, a teacher should not be singing Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines, a song about rape with minor girls in the hallway. Like, Sue was objectively correct about that, and she's objectively correct about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll go and make her misgender Unique.
I know.
Right.
And just animalize her with the bathroom thing. It's like,
yes,
character writing is so inconsistent. And Will do this amazing presentation, historically accurate presentation about why twerking is not different from other like maligned dances, and then he will go and sing a song about rape with children, and also will like just fetishize Unique and also just sing and also like rap and just do everything else that he does because he's the worst teacher ever.
There's some moments when I'm really wondering what was in the head of people writing that, because it really feels like it's absurd on purpose. Like the Blue Line song Sue clearly tells him, do you know it's about date rape? And you obviously understand that Will has no idea and is just dumb. And it's like, it feels like it's what you're supposed to understand. So it just, was it a way to just say the worst thing to make people understand how fucking stupid the worst thing they say is?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think they could get away with this on television. It was a weird time.
It was.
It was a bizarre time.
Yeah, there was a period in from the late from 2008, 2009 and then into the early teens in the aughts where a lot of questionable things were being made on television.
I mean, I would argue early 2000s as well because Will and Grace had a lot of cringe.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Ooh, maybe we should watch some Will and Grace episodes.
I'm not sure if Will and Grace was even as cringe as Glee.
Oh, Will and Grace was not as cringy as this.
Will and Grace was good sometimes.
Will and Grace has more moments that hold up well than Glee does, I think.
I agree.
They both have moments that do not hold up well, but I think Glee has more that hold up badly, and Will and Grace has more that hold up well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is that I genuinely like most songs they sing.
The music is fine.
I still listen to some Glee covers.
I do too. The Rumor Has It, the Adele mashups, those are all good.
It's so good.
The Madonna episode.
Yes.
There are some good, great covers here.
Listen, I have a Glee playlist. I'm okay with that because they did some good shit. It's fine.
One of my most formative semesters of college and of life happened during the first half of Glee, and it was episode 4, Preggers, which has a pretty dumb storyline with Quinn and Finn, but the other storyline with Kurt I thought was great, and I rewatched some clips of it, and I don't think that it held up badly. It starts with that iconic Kurt and Tina and I think it's Brittany doing Single Ladies in his basement.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And his dad comes downstairs and he's like, oh, we're studying. And his dad is like, are you though?
He's fooling his dad.
And the coming out moment in that episode was it was beautiful.
It was.
And so that episode, the music in that episode is firmly ingrained in my head as a positive touchstone of my development and America's cultural development in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of bringing America into this, can we talk about how Will, every time he was sitting at Sue's desk, was like, this is my right as an American?
It is your duty as an American to disobey.
Yes, I wrote down that quote. I said, when the law is unjust, it is your duty as an American to disobey.
My God.
It's called civil disobedience.
Listen.
You're talking about twerking, William.
I know. That's what got me.
I only just realized this, but this episode really obscured or obfuscated the difference between twerking and singing a song about date rape, because Sue fired Will for singing a song about date rape and twerking. And he got reinstated just for his presentation about twerking, and the date rape thing was just tossed out and forgotten about completely, which is such bad writing. It is such bad writing. And then he is having this heart-to-heart with Unique, and he's like, it's going to be hard to be you. And I know that not a lot of people like to hear that, but I think Will was right. If you're going to be you, you're going to have some tough times. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be yourself. And I'm like, yes, well, you're being a great teacher. And then he's like, it's like slavery and gay rights and the new Coke. And I was like, oh, seriously? Did you just conflate the fucking Coke with gay rights and slavery?
My God. It's just, and that's the continual, I think, Glee experience where you have these really nice heartfelt moments. And then you have Will storming into Sue's office and Sue saying okay, you're not allowed to twerk anymore. And in return, then your student will get to use a bathroom on their own. And Will throwing the weirdest tantrum. I'm just like, what is going on? What is this? I don't understand.
It's just so bad.
The tantrum made me laugh because it is what Sue has been doing for season and season. And it made me laugh.
The tantrum itself was funny.
I forgot about the weird Sue Sylvester zoom-ins that they do. When that first one happened in the beginning, I was transported back to this magical time in 2009. And I was like, what is happening?
You know what? when I watched like that C News with Sue,
Mm-hmm.
the thing I brought into doc is, see, that would have been funnier if we literally didn't have crazy folks in US TV news media in 2023.
Well,
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's how Sue sees it.
my God. This is the thing. There are people who are worse than Sue.
Mhm.
One of my notes was Leah Michelle. Leah Michelle is such a caricature of herself in this episode.
Basically, yeah.
She has one singing technique, and that's all she used. And it was cool in season 1 of Glee. And then she kept using it over and over again. And that's all she does.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
And I'm sorry, but like, you got hired for a job on Broadway, you don't show up with an haircut.
Right?
And it worked, and it annoys me that it worked, because it should never work, because it's such not a good thing to do. And sure, she was using a wig, but I'm like, oh my freaking God.
Mm-hmm. Because she should know better. She should know better. Like she's the Broadway, self-proclaimed Broadway like lover, fan, whatever. She should know better.
This is a weird circular thing, but season 1 of Glee finished off with them at regionals and singing, and she sang "Don't Rain on My Parade," and that like changed the trajectory of my like music taste. Like I watched Funny Girl, and I fell in love with the Barbra Streisand musical, and I loved it. And then by the time the season 5 came around, I was a fan of Barbra Streisand as a person and not as a person connected with Glee. And I was like, okay, well, this is fine. Like this whole Funny Girl storyline in season 5 is fine. And then watching it now, I was like, dear God, this ruins Funny Girl for me. So it's like Leah Michelle both got me on to Funny Girl and then almost ruined it for me today as I was rewatching this episode. Of course, the song scene that they did is my least favorite song in the musical. So
I know. I was like, of all the songs, this is the one? Okay. All right.
I will say I love that the director is the dad from Twilight.
That's where he's from. Oh my God. I was trying to place him.
the guy who was playing her husband in the song is he was Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Twilight dad.
Okay.
On another joke, like, I'm sorry, but Marley, I only see Supergirl because she doesn't have the glasses, so she's not Cara Danvers, she's Supergirl.
Yeah. I will say, I was watching this and I'm like, I know it's not accurate, but I was like, is Melissa Benoist the most, like, commercially successful person to come out of this? She's not.
No.
She had 7 or 6 seasons as Supergirl.
Yeah.
She is the only one that's had her own show for that long.
Yeah. Who's the most commercially successful one?
I mean, either Leah Michelle or Chris Colfer.
Or Amber Riley. Because Amber Riley has been on Broadway and...
Amber Riley soon.
Yes.
In 5 years, it'll be Amber Riley.
As it should be.
Yes.
Amber Riley right now? No.
No, not right now.
But Leah Michelle is...
The thing is that she has such a shitty personality that nobody really wants to remember her.
Yeah. Also, Chris Colfer, like, is an author, and that's how he's made most of his money.
Mm-hmm. He writes children's books, right?
He wrote a few YA books, and he wrote a children's fantasy series.
Okay.
He hasn't written since. He's basically an insta-twink now.
Is he?
Okay.
Darren Criss will always be Harry Potter for me.
Yes. Same.
How is Darren Criss straight?
I mean, listen.
He's a theater kid.
I was going to say, theater kids are a different breed. Yeah.
I remember Cord Overstreet being my type when Glee aired.
That doesn't surprise me.
And then I looked up what he's up to now, and I was like, okay, he's still my type.
So, to use Allie's framing, which has changed how I watch TV, the A plot was twerking, the B plot was Unique getting to use the bathroom, C plot was tattoos, and the D plot was the cheating?
Yeah, that's how most TV shows work.
I never looked at it before as like A, B, C, D. I was like, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
I know exactly what you mean, because it's when I listened to that episode, it changed the way that I view TV as well. Because, like, obviously everyone is aware that, like, this and this and this is happening, but, like...
All right, so let's talk about the A plot, which was twerking. I think we've kind of discussed it, but
So bad.
and I would like everyone to know, the reason we chose this episode was because it's the lowest ranked on IMDb. That was aired.
Yeah.
It was tied. Because
The puppet.
Puppet one was, yeah.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of watching the puppet one today, and that was,
Mhm.
oh boy. It was an acid trip.
So regarding the twerking, one thing that pissed me off from the start is that Blaine is twerking by himself in a classroom, then getting filmed, and basically everyone is watching that video and laughing at him. And the teacher is watching and also laughing, and I'm like, dude, that's pretty close to bullying.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Shu was using it as an excuse to motivate the children.
Mhm.
Also, he used there are so many words that were not allowed, that should never be said.
My God. Yeah.
Like twerktorial,
Mm-mm.
throat explosion, white chocolate signature
Good
move,
Lord.
booty bop, pee pop, or sissy bounce.
Okay, that's pretty bad. I kind of like the white chocolate part. I know I shouldn't.
I want to have a special section later in this episode where we talk about the horrible things that were said.
We should do that.
Unless we want to do that right now.
I mean, I just as a side note, I also do want to point out that the dancing that was happening in this episode was loosely twerking.
It was white twerking.
It was white twerking. And that they had the white...
Amber Riley
Listen, yes.
Amber Riley is grateful
Oh my God.
that she left when she did.
Listen.
The fact that they get the one black kid to like do the tutorial and then they immediately have a white girl demonstrate.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
Of course.
It was very... Oh, what is that song from Hairspray?
The new girl in town.
No, when she teaches the girls to dance.
Queen Latifah's character?
No. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, it's...
Miss Baltimore Crab.
Yes.
It is very much front step, cha-cha-cha, back step, cha-cha-cha. It's very that, and I was cringing the entire time. Because I'm like, who the fuck is this budget Quinn Fabray?
Right?
Like...
Right?
It took me half of the episode to realize that was not Quinn Fabray.
Dude.
Yeah,
I am not joking, because they look similar enough that I'm like,
Yeah.
white girl in a ponytail with blonde hair.
Uh-huh.
That's Quinn Fabray.
The bitch that Jake slept with, this is a Santana bis.
Yeah.
Right. Santana, Diet Santana.
Yes.
I will say, her monologue when Melissa Benoist was trying to slut shame her.
It was good. It was good.
I wrote, I am this slutty cheerleader whenever Matt calls me a whore.
That was such a shitty like, the whole scene was awful. Like, Melissa Benoist, or however you pronounce her name, Marley, was just up in her business, and Bree was all like, you can't call me a slut for causing your boyfriend to cheat on you. Being a slut is sleeping around, and that's fine, but, like, causing cheating is not fine.
Oh, excuse me?
There's no causing cheating. Jake was perfectly, like, in his own ability to decide on not to cheat.
I thought that I didn't remember the thing, but I thought that she plotted. I thought that Brie plotted the whole thing.
No.
She didn't plot it. She didn't, like, say, ooh, no, you're in a relationship. You shouldn't sleep with me.
I didn't watch the lead-up episodes.
No.
I didn't either.
I just remember that she was evil, like, totally evil in the show.
I just know that I'm not a homewrecker because I sleep with married men.
Mm.
Anyways, irrelevant.
Okay, so anything else about the A-plot, twerking?
I'm sure we'll bring up something at some point.
Okay. The B-plot, which was objectively the best.
Objectively, yes.
The unique bathroom. I wrote in here, this episode is tackling gendered bathrooms too. Why?
I know.
I know. Yeah.
So much is happening.
It was, you know what? It was fine. Not great, but fine up until, like...
The porta potty?
Yes, exactly. When they were doing, like, the raves and everything like that, I was like, okay, this is passable.
I was of two minds, because I liked the fact that the kids were like, oh, there's reasons for me to go into the other bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it showed how the kids, like, don't care as much about gender as...
Right?
Yes.
But then the fact that it led to gender riots or bathroom riots was just like, oh my God.
And I thought it was going to go in a different direction. I thought it was going to be like, you know, this is the girls' bathroom, this is the boys' bathroom. But instead it was Sue putting a Scooby-Doo porta potty.
It was a Scooby-Doo. It was so dehumanizing.
It was so bad.
How did it went to people partying in the bathroom to suddenly Unique going to another bathroom and then being bullied? How did we go from one to the other?
Because they needed to show it, Camille. They needed to have Unique be bullied. And they were like, we're just going to skip the steps in between. And that's fine.
I feel like now is an okay time to bring up some of the bad comments because so many of them were about Unique. I'm reading it because I wrote it down. It's not even the worst one. Stop right there, voice of Elmo.
I know.
Someone wrote that. Like, somebody wrote that and got paid to write that.
And it made it to the final script. It made it to air.
It made it past editing. It made it past all that shit.
Also, like, I'm not sure if I'm trying to be, like, looking for stuff to find offensive, but, like, Alex Newell singing If I Were a Boy, which is, it seems to me like it's a trans person wishing that they weren't trans is what it came off to as me. And then it wasn't made any better by the fact that Kitty and Archie, who are apparently dating in this show, were holding hands and giving the sad, fetishizing white straight people look.
I was so perturbed by that. I'm like, this is not your emotional moment. I don't know what this is, but it is not for you.
I will say, Klee has a history of doing this, of taking songs that have just a whiff of a similarity to a situation, and they're like, surely this applies. Surely this applies.
Beyonce is singing about how if she were a man, she would be better at being a boyfriend.
Yes.
Trans?
Sure. I will say also, American Black churches also do this too, where they will take a secular song and sing it in church, and they will use that as like, okay, this is a Christian song because we're singing about love. And so that may have been part of it too, because they were like, well, Alex Newell is Black, so yeah. Let's just wrap this up in a nice, neat bow. Why not?
Tony Award winner Alex Newell.
I'm sorry.
They deserve it too.
Tony Award winner.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they just won a Tony.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the second cast member of Glee to have a Tony.
Yep.
So proud of him.
The first is Jenna Ushkowitz.
I think Jenna has 2, actually.
Also, like, after this whole thing, like, the dudes are so angry about what the bullies did to Unique. They're like, let's go fuck them up. And Mr. Shu is like, okay, I know that I literally just said we fight back when there's oppression. And I know that I just sang about rape with the underage kids, but we're not going to actually fight for our trans friends in any meaningful way. We're just not going to do that. We're going to just talk about it and then move on like the centrist teacher that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was... I don't know how to feel about Mr. Shu.
I know.
Except bad. Bad.
He's bad.
It's bad.
It's just bad.
I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah, all around.
Sue wasn't wrong when she said, yeah, you're 37, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe one of my favorite lines was from Will.
Mm-hmm.
Twerking about blurring the lines between the past and the present, between men and women, between tradition and envelope pushing. It's all in that Alan Thicke song I love.
I hate it so much. That made me so...
I think Will Schuster's a loser. I'm just going to say it.
And this is the thing. Sue is mean and cruel, but she's very rarely wrong. She is not wrong. Now, the way she goes about things and the way that she deals with situations is very much wrong. But what she is saying, like the root of what she is saying, is not at all incorrect.
And that's what I hate about her characters. Like, she will do, like, she's like, Unique needs a bathroom of her own, except I'm going to misgender Unique and also dehumanize her by putting her in a Scooby-Doo porta potty in the middle of the choir room to get back at Will Schuster.
Yeah. And I'm going to nail it to the floor so that you can't move it. What?
And what was Tina's obsession with the Scooby-Doo porta?
I don't know.
They never knew what to do with her character. Like, they never
knew.
It was infuriating. Oh my God.
Like, she is so talented.
Yes.
And she gets like 2 or 3 songs throughout the entire course of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't understand. Also, another wonderful quote here, which is not the worst one.
Oh.
Because we all know that's the Cosby one. Well, if it isn't the Q in the LGBTQ XYZ, who gives a crap? Why is this show so homophobic?
I mean, I don't think the show is homophobic for that character. I think that they accurately depicted homophobia, and I think that they predicted a lot of what we're seeing now.
Yeah. I was going to say.
That's fair.
There's a thin, blurred line, if you will, between the show depicting something bad, and we know that it's bad, but they're not going to moralize about it. Like when a bully says that, we know that we're not supposed to agree with the bully. We know that that's homophobic. So I don't think that's homophobic. But then we have a character like Kitty calling a black trans woman Oprah, which is so racist, and then they never get challenged on it. So like the show, and that's what is so bad about the show, is that they have these moments when they show and don't tell about racism, homophobia, and we know that it's bad, and then they'll do the exact same thing with the character that we're supposed to like and sympathize with, and that character doesn't get called out for it. And it makes for really inconsistent writing.
But the thing is that, I don't know, I feel like every time the cheerleaders, any of them, open their mouths, they're always such fucking bitch.
Yeah.
It's like there are stereotype of mean girls that will say the whole thing to your face all the fucking time. That was the whole thing with Santana. Queen Fabry was like that too. Kitty is like that too. Like the number of times Santana said something so awful in that show. Mm-hmm. And it was just for laugh.
Because it was funny when she did it, and I don't know why. And I can't tell you why it was funny when she did it.
Like, I think it also was written at a time where everyone was joking about it. Like, it's just that's so gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a time where you had to laugh about it, because if you were starting to get offended by, hey, you shouldn't say that thing, people would tell you, oh, you really cannot take a joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were just so inconsistent about it.
Yeah.
And it really brings me back to that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's fair. It's not a good time.
No. And I got so mad because, like, it was so rare to see, like, when Unique finished singing her solo and, like, the guys in the back, like, were pissed and were, like, ready to go beat somebody up. Like, it was, like, amazing to see, like, cis dudes ready to beat the shit out of somebody for being transphobic. And then Mr. Shoe's like, no, we're going to take the high road.
We're not going to do that.
It was awkwardly handled, but it's not the worst thing that they've done. And, like, they tried. Like, making Coach Beast come out as trans was way more.
No, that did not happen.
I blocked that out. I can't do it. I don't want to. Listen, James, I'm saying this right here, right now, because in our Discord chat, just before we recorded this, James was like, so yeah, for the 100th episode, let's watch another episode of Glee.
No, ma'am.
No. And in fact, they said it in like as something we are doing already. Like, yes, we're watching it. And I am saying, I am coming out here publicly, here, James, we are not doing it. I can't do it. I can't go back. Let's watch anything else. Let's watch Sex in the City. Oh, we should watch Sex in the City.
No.
I've never seen Sex in the City.
Really?
I'm just, there's so many good moments. And by good, I mean very bad.
Yeah.
It's like at the end when they're like, we're not going to do twerking anymore because our friend Unique is more important. That was great. And then they're like, yeah, I don't care about twerking anyways. And like, I couldn't tell, like with some of them, I could tell that they were saying that to make Unique feel better. But with some of them, I was like, are you being serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just couldn't tell.
Yeah, they spent like a week being obsessed with twerking, and then all of a sudden we're like, yeah, it's whack actually. Like, twerking is not that great. We don't need to do it.
Would you twerk for gender-neutral bathrooms?
No.
That's the episode title.
Do we have anything to say about the C-plot, the tattoos?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have thoughts. Like, who wrote Kurt? Like, who wrote Kurt? When he goes back to the tattoo shop, and the guy's like, why did you even do this? And Kurt's like, well, I wanted to just rebel and shake off my doldrums. I wrote in the thing, Kurt, you are a faggot. Just stop. Like, no one talks like that. Nobody talks like that unless you are with the word that I just said with a hard F.
Kurt Hummel talks like that. That's who.
And then it's so Bette Midler. Like, what? Like, that wasn't better. That wasn't better at all.
My biggest issue with the tattoo plot was how they did not look like tattoos. They looked like weird scarification.
Yes.
Yeah, they looked like temporary tattoos.
And they were.
I mean, it's a low-budget show.
They looked like they were drawn on with an eyeliner pen.
And as somebody who has never gotten a tattoo and has never been around someone while they were getting a tattoo, I could tell easily that those were fake because tattoos always leave a red mark, especially the day of. And like the timeline for this was like a week. That would not have healed. I will say the one moment that I thought was sweet in this episode was Rachel getting the Finn tattoo and keeping it to herself.
Yeah.
I hate conceding when a Rachel storyline makes me feel fuzzy because Leah Michelle is just like trash. But that was a genuinely sweet moment in the episode that I have no snark to say about.
I just wanted to say that my favorite sentence of this episode is actually in that plot. And it is when Kurt say, "No, what I want back I can't get. My innocence, my pride, and my unblemished alabaster skin."
Oh my god.
I will say the one note I had about this plot line or in here was that it was the most Rachel moment for her to come home, see Chris Colfer, Kurt eating ice cream, being sad, right after Finn had just died, and then being like, why are you being so pathetic? Like, you fucking bitch. Like,
yeah.
Was that Leah Michelle or was that Rachel? The world may never know.
We'll never know.
It was both. That was his stepbrother.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was his stepbrother, but they were super close.
It was his best friend, kind of.
Yeah. Just because he hasn't gotten dicked by him doesn't mean that he's not
Exactly. Oh my god. Anyway.
I did love the tattoo artist being like the wise sage of Kurt's life in this episode. Because that was a moment that I was not expecting.
That and Adam Lambert being... Wait, nope, that was the puppet episode. Adam Lambert guest starred, and I forgot about that, but that's the puppet episode, not this episode.
Yeah, there were a lot of guest stars. Remember Idina Menzel?
She did. Yes.
Yeah.
That was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Forget You.
That's right.
Was that also with Gwyneth Paltrow when you have the song between Britney and Santana, Landslide?
Oh, Landslide. Okay. Yes.
I don't know if Gwyneth Paltrow was in that.
It was a blonde woman, but I remember.
Was it Kristen Chenoweth?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh no, it was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Was it Gwyneth Paltrow? Okay.
She's playing guitar somehow.
What?
Yeah. Which is just hilarious because it's basically Santana singing her love for Britney, and then in the middle of them you have Gwyneth Paltrow.
I remember the Britney and Santana of it. I remember that. It was actually a really nice scene.
I'm just saying, like, we may not watch an entire episode of Glee, but maybe during another live stream we will watch some performances.
I will accept that. You know what? If we could... So season 1 of Glee was comparatively not as terrible.
It was almost good.
It was almost good.
There were some iconic performances. Rachel and Finn singing Madonna's Open Your Heart in the library. That was a really sweet, iconic moment.
Yeah.
Also, the whole Madonna episode was pretty good.
Very good.
The Madonna episode was really good.
Mercedes and Santana doing River Deep Mountain High.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
I still say that, like, the Finn tribute episode was the last time that the show put out a solidly good episode because they took themselves seriously. They took it seriously and they respected Corey Monteith's memory and they weren't flippant about it. And that's why it's such a fantastic episode. And it was the last one that I think was wholly good. I mean, there were some other episodes later on that had good moments, but I mean, mostly it was just such a downhill.
I mean, I think you pointed exactly what was going wrong is that they never took themselves seriously. And I know it's okay not to take yourself seriously, but there's a limit.
Yeah. You have to sometimes. Yeah.
The distinction that I made is you always have to take the work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. And they took neither themselves or the work seriously. And, well, the Finn episode was the last time they took the work seriously, but after that, they just fucked off.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a big hat with a bunch of random ideas and were just picking from that hat.
They spun a wheel.
Exactly.
In this episode, twerking,
Yeah.
gender neutral bathrooms,
And wrecking balls.
tattoos.
Oh my God.
Oh, Wrecking Ball. The worst performance of the episode.
Yeah. This lip syncing was off.
Everything was off. Everything was bad about that scene.
It was not the only song with bad lip syncing. The Blurred Line was also very bad on lip syncing, I think.
Sure.
It was so difficult to watch.
It was not good.
I didn't mind because I really like Melissa Benoist.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought that Miley Cyrus and her songs couldn't get any worse, and then I saw this performance, and it made an already bad song.
Miley Cyrus has some okay songs.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, I'm sorry she's not Leslie Gore. I'm very sorry she's not Leslie Gore.
I also like modern people, thank you very much, like Beyonce and Troye Sivan.
Miley Cyrus actually has a recent song that I found very nice.
I can buy myself flowers.
Yeah. It's a really good song.
We can like different things.
Of course we can. That's the spice of life. Anyway.
I have a couple more highlighted things.
Oh.
Becky, do you have an appointment? No? Then get out, bitch. The things she got to say on the show.
Wild.
So on the one hand, this is like the first time I saw someone with Down syndrome not treated or fetishized for their condition.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, some of the shit she's allowed to say is just so offensive and inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like she also, like at first I was like, are they using her for comedic relief? But then she has like serious storylines where like she's trying to apply to colleges and she's really facing adversity in a very realistic way. So she's not just comedic relief. So like I think the net result of Becky is a net positive for me, but that doesn't mean it's.
But it's still a lot to go through.
There's still a lot to go through.
Yeah. There's a lot to get. Yeah.
It's still a lot.
It's a lot.
Welcome to Glee, where even if you have a condition, you can be offensive as everybody else.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
Oh my god, that is the first note I made was these intros. Why is he talking so fast?
I know. So fast. It made me remember sometimes they'll do that thing where like there was so much that happened in the episode before that the person doing the like voiceover is like running out of breath almost. And that was kind of fun. Somewhat.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah, but it's not surprised that there's so missing going on. Have you seen how many plots we got in this episode? How many random shit we have in this episode? No wonder in every other episode.
So much shit.
So much to recap.
I have to say something sexual.
Oh.
Otherwise, this wouldn't be an episode for me.
Okay.
I will say when he said, I'll even throw in a tongue piercing, and Kurt said, why would I want to do that? I'm like, it feels really good when you're like getting your dick sucked by a guy with a tongue piercing. It adds a little something.
Didn't Sue call Kurt like one of those sexless pandas that won't breed at the zoo or something like that? It's like Kurt's a sexless gay. He's not gonna do.
He is.
He doesn't know about that.
Oh, and we never actually said the line.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's say it now.
If Oprah is going to drop the Cosby kids off at the pool, I am not going to be here for it.
How did they allow? How? Why?
If Oprah is going to drop the Cosby kids off at the pool, I am not going to be here for it.
And to be clear, this was said to Unique, Alex Newell's character.
Tony Award winner Alex Newell had to go through this.
Right? My God.
I watched without subtitles, so I did not get all of that quote. And getting all of it makes it so much worse.
It's not just calling her Oprah.
Nope.
It's referring to excrement as the Cosby kids.
Yep. It's bad. It's racist on multiple levels.
It's so bad.
I'm just saying, Ryan Murphy needs to be hanged.
I wrote in my notes that he needs to be stopped from writing anymore in Hollywood.
Yeah.
American Horror Story is still on somehow.
Blacklist that man, please.
We were talking about the intro recap. Can you imagine if the Wheel of Time had a recap like that?
Oh my god, now I want to do it.
We should get Kevin to do it. Kevin has the Glee intro voice.
Someone should do that as like a spoof. It would be very funny.
in which Moraine says something racist towards Nynaeve, and it's played off for laughs.
No!
Oh, add a laugh track. Add a laugh track. If wisdom is the title you claim, you should use some laugh track.
No, it wouldn't be laugh track. It would be the ooh.
I will say, I did have to pause it after I saw Naya Rivera in the credits, and I'm glad she didn't appear in this episode.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I don't think I'm over that personally.
No.
It's just, it's weird how much bad shit has happened to the people on that show.
The show is cursed.
There's someone did some bad juju.
It was Leah Michelle.
It was Leah Michelle.
It was Leah Michelle.
It was Leah Michelle.
Like, let's be very clear about this. If any voodoo curses were made, it was by Leah Michelle.
Yes.
If any gods were invoked
my God.
and are taking their price, it is Leah Michelle's doing.
It was Leah Michelle trying to manifest Funny Girl, and the manifestation going horribly, horribly wrong because she wished ill on anyone else who tried to, like, audition for it.
Corey Monteith, drug overdose. Naya Rivera, accident. Mark Salling, hanging himself after being caught with child or CP.
Yes.
Like, that was just so wild. Like, when he was caught with it, that was wild enough.
Wild.
When he committed suicide, that was or I'm sorry, we're not just like the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
When he unsubscribed from Life, that was just
Oh my god.
I mean, I think that the worst one for me is Naya Rivera because she was absolutely going to have like a second coming.
Yeah, she was.
She was actually absolutely going to have a comeback.
Yeah.
And yeah, she didn't get to have one.
And like the circumstances, like I think regularly about her young son who is like, was there for this deeply traumatic event and is just, it's just so sad. It's so sad.
The amazing thing is, like, you also have like all of these amazing stars that came out of this. Like Amber Riley. Mm-hmm. You have Alex Newell.
Yeah. I mean, Harry Shum Jr., I completely, like...
Oh, yeah.
He has been in, like, he's had, like, a really good career after this. And, you know, it's...
Unfortunately, this did make Jane Lynch very famous.
I saw her live, and I actually liked it. Liked her.
Did she hang herself or something? Because that's the only performance I would like.
Jesus.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Jane Lynch is not a good person.
Yeah. It's a struggle for me because my immediate... impulse is to protect all lesbians.
Protect the lesbian.
But you know what? Some lesbians do not deserve rights, and that's just that.
We have Ellen.
We have Ellen, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Does she deserve rights, though?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ellen and Jane Lynch are the same type of lesbian.
They, unfortunately.
I was looking at Glee actors who've died, and there's also Meatloaf and Olivia Newton-John who died before their time. I mean, granted, they were older and they had, like, illnesses, but, like...
Yeah, they guessed it. They guessed it on Glee.
Also, does anyone, like... I didn't hallucinate this. There was an Irish kid, right, that they were super racist against. Like,
yeah.
They called him a bunch of Irish slurs and, like, leprechaun and shit.
Uh-huh.
Season 3 or something.
At some point, there was a Glee project where...
That's how Alex Newell got his start.
But wasn't that kid also from that?
I think there might have been a Damien McGinty.
Rory Flanagan was his name because let's just call him...
Why not?
Irishman. They
pulled a J.K. Rowling.
Brittany believes that he is actually a leprechaun.
Yes.
Yeah, Okay, what episode was this?
It was season 3, but he left during season 4, and they just wrote him off by saying that he went back to Ireland.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
It is season 3.
Holy shit, I completely forgot about that.
He said he found it really hard to play the leprechaun-like character Rory Flanagan on the hit show Glee. This is when it's okay to talk about, like, racism against people who have, like, white skin. This isn't somebody saying, like, oh, well, I'm Irish and we were enslaved, so you shouldn't, like, complain about it. Like, this is people, like, actually, like, being racist against him.
I mean...
Does it have the same social impact? Not today, but, like, still.
Is it racism or is it prejudice?
He sang a rendition of Kermit the Frog's "It's Not Easy Being Green."
Oh my God, that's right. Jesus Christ in heaven. You know what? I have to say, my brain has been doing a really good job of protecting me because there are so many things that it has just blocked out and I don't remember it until you say that. And then it all comes flooding back. And so kudos to my brain, I guess.
Like when you said when they made Coach Beast come out as trans, that my brain is doing a very good job because that did not happen still. Still, that has not happened.
Do you remember the early days when they cast Cord Overstreet to be Kurt's boyfriend, and then they're like, oh, he's too masked, he can't be gay, so like they rewrote him as straight after teasing it, and then threw Blaine into the mix?
Yeah.
Personally, I think they should have kept with the original, but that's just me.
That's just because you think Cord Overstreet is very hot.
Look, feral country fried raccoons deserve gay rep too.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Also, I love how Alex Newell did not win the Glee project.
No.
They were runner-up.
Yeah.
And they're the most successful person out of it.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't domestically abuse your girlfriend.
How about that?
It's like, because we know they picked Blake Jenner for his face. Like, he has the classically handsome bro dude face that made all the judges go wet over themselves. So they gave it to him, but they couldn't deny Alex Newell's talent. And look where they are now.
Oh, Blake Jenner was in the Glee project too?
Yeah. He won the second season.
Yeah. There was a group of them that were all in the Glee project, and they were on the show for a bit.
They were cast because of their chemistry, I think, because they all had chemistry together.
Yeah.
Oh, the boy with dreadlocks was the winner of the first season.
There was a boy with dreadlocks?
There was.
Was he white?
Yes.
Wait, really?
He was mixed, I believe. I believe he was mixed.
Oh, yeah. I remember him. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, no. That has someone new to thirst over.
That was Samuel, right?
Samuel Larson, yes.
Uh-huh.
The reason I say he's white is because Samuel Larson is a very white name.
Oh, he's mixed. He's mixed white Mexican, but
I apologize.
Still
what?
He's not white.
They didn't do anything with him.
No, they didn't.
I meant still, like, they didn't do anything with him.
Yes. No, they did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there for like 23 episodes, but he never really had a plot, and he almost never did anything after Glee.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and then Lindsay Pierce?
Who's that?
Who the fuck are you? One of the other co-runner-up with Alex Newell.
Oh, okay.
She has her face is familiar, but I don't...
Oh, wait, Dreadlocks guy was like the super Christian kid, right?
Yes, he was. That's right.
Oh, that was because every character has a shtick. You have the gay, the wheelchair kid, the Asian girl, the Christian.
Yeah.
Like, because you can only be defined by...
The tater tot black girl.
The tater tot black girl. Yeah.
Tater tot song. The tater tot song.
For those who need some clarification, that was Matt's soul attempting to leave his body.
What's left of his soul?
What's left of his soul was trying to get out of there.
I forgot about Mercedes being like all about the tater tots.
I don't know if you know, but the tater tots are a very thinly veiled metaphor for her rights.
Uh-huh.
And they chose food because...
Yeah, they did.
Because she's fat.
Because she's fat. And it's funny.
Because fat people are funny.
She's a fat black woman and we have to play.
Especially, I mean, they really lucked out with her because not only was she fat, she was also a fat and black. And so they're like, we get two at a time here.
We got 2 for 1.
We get a 2 for 1.
Amber Riley really made the best out of everybody on Glee.
Truly.
She said, you know what? I'm better than this.
I will thrive here. I will thrive in these conditions. How did she not murder everyone there?
She should have. You know what? If that's the next big Glee story, that Amber Riley goes on a murder spree and they all end up dead.
That's okay. I support that.
Yeah, no. I think this is a good time to probably...
It's a good stopping point.
Stop right there, voice of Elmo.
Oh my god.
Okay.
This episode wasn't as cursed as them randomly singing What Does the Fox Say wearing animal masks at the end of the puppet episode, but, you know.
I will say this episode, like, while I was watching this, it was bad, but it was not as terrible as I was expecting. It is about as terrible as I expect any episode of Glee to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the rankings on IMDb are not, you can't trust those.
They're fairly subjective.
Just because they say it's the worst episode, it doesn't mean that it's, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a list of homosexuals
Exactly.
that rank all of the Glee episodes.
That's what we need. Because I'm sure there's a worse one out there.
You know what? We could be those homosexuals.
No.
No, I'm saying, listen.
121 hours of that show. No, ma'am.
We are not.
For all we know, the reason why this episode is ranked low is because Unique as a plot.
That's probably what it is.
729 musical performances we're missing out on, guys.
We can watch them on YouTube.
Listen,
You know,
we can watch the musical performance. I am absolutely for that.
What about Glee, the 3D project, or the 3D concert live?
Listen, I went to Glee the concert, okay? Let me just get this out there. Let me get this out there. I did go to the Glee concert, and it was good, because it was just the performances, which is what I was here for.
I remember the discussion regarding the Glee concert was the time where Diana Agron wore, was that the I Like Girls shirt?
Yeah.
I don't remember which song they were doing.
It's probably Born This Way.
The internet is still insane about that.
Oh my god. I remember.
It started all the lesbian rumor about Diana Agron.
Yeah.
They're probably not right, but...
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's one concert, she wore a t-shirt where it was written, I Like Girls.
that's the Born This Way episode.
It is Born This Way, yeah.
That was a good episode.
It was.
And for the concert, she somehow wore a t-shirt where it's written, I Like Girls.
And so people think she's a lesbian?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course they do, James.
Look, you guys need help, okay?
I mean, there was also a bunch of rumors about her and Taylor Swift.
This is the thing.
Her and Taylor Swift?
Yeah, it's not just one thing.
Do you know about the rumor regarding Taylor Swift, at least, or not?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's like whole conspiracy theories online about whether Taylor is gay or not.
People are convinced.
I'm familiar with gaylers, which I thought were just gay fans of Taylor Swift.
No.
Whole other level.
Literally, there's people overanalyzing everything Taylor Swift wrote or said.
The reason that I know about this is because Bodhi mentioned something about Lavender Haze and how everyone was mad. And he said something about how the gaylers were mad. And I was like, what?
This makes me happy that I do my best to never perceive anything Taylor Swift related.
I mean, she has good songs.
She has some good songs.
That's okay. I'm fine with missing out on the gaylers.
I mean...
You don't have to get involved with the gaylers by listening to Taylor Swift songs.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, I'm going to go watch Gwyneth Paltrow and Naya Rivera and Heather Morris sing Landslide because I hate myself. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Queers of Time. Thank you for downloading our episodes 10,000 times. Apparently we will never do this again, ever. So enjoy this. If you liked our podcast, give us money because it's expensive. And listen to us on places. I like people, places, and things. Discord, Twitter, Instagram,
just randomly saying,
TikTok,
just randomly naming platforms.
Spoutable.
What is happening? We should create a Spoutable account, by the way.
What the fuck is Spoutable?
Spill.
What's Phil?
Grinder.
Grindr, Tinder.
OnlyFans.
Follow us on Christian Mingle.
Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish. Perfect.
Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.